So I figured I'd do another update. It's been a little while since I've done one, but I'm currently sitting in Atlanta. It's Friday at 12:22 in the afternoon, and I'm here at the Heartland terminal, and I delivered a load this morning because the way the scheduling worked, I didn't get here last night because there was an issue with my trailer, and by the time it got situated, it was already too late for me to do the scheduled delivery. Right now, I'm looking for an empty trailer. But supposed to be home this weekend. Usually getting home on Friday. Oh yeah, this trailer ain't gonna work. You can see it, but it's got a hole in the top of it, which is probably why it's sitting over here. But anyway, about 3 weeks ago, they took away the pay protection program that they've had for the longest time, which was pretty much you get a minimum paycheck every week as long as you were available um, and not on the road. And for the account I was on, it was like $1,000, $1,060 a week, as long as you didn't have any service failures or you didn't like refuse any loads or whatever. And it wasn't that bad of a program for the most part, but the biggest issue was that it seemed like as soon as you got the miles to meet that minimum pay threshold, they'd stop giving you miles. Or if you got close to it, they'd stop giving you miles. So you never really made more than that minimum. And after, your medical, dental, vision, all that stuff was taken out, you'd end up getting about $800 a week. Um, which, I've been driving for a few years now, and I made more money than that as a rookie at Swift back when they were paying 30 cents a mile. And theoretically, um, I'm making 63 cents a mile now or whatever. So, yeah. But I mean, it was better than nothing. And the problem is I was hardly getting any miles. There were some weeks I wasn't even getting 1,000 miles. And then they took away that pay protection about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm still only making about $800 a week on a good week. Um, it's like this. I do more sitting at this company than at any other company I've ever been at. Their planners are terrible. Um, they are horrible at utilizing our clocks. They will give you a load that has 360 miles on it and over 24 hours. Um, they don't schedule you effectively. They don't start even looking to book a load for you until you're pretty much delivering, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of planning, right? When you plan, you're supposed to plan a driver to go into a market and have another load to get them back out of that market. You don't send them to an area and then when they get there, go, oh, well, there's no freight. You're supposed to plan ahead. That's the whole point of planning. And it's terrible. I have 10 hours available on my clock right now. I've been sitting here for 3 hours now, waiting on a load. They just sent me a load that doesn't pick up until tomorrow and doesn't deliver until Sunday in Naples. That's like 400 miles with 48 hours on it. And my better half, she's a school teacher, so I only get to spend time with her on the weekends if I go home. And if I don't get home until Sunday evening, what's the point? I don't get to spend any time with her. Yeah, I'll get a 34-hour reset in because my recaps are screwed because I've only been running, a few hours a day on some days. So, I don't know. It's driving me nuts. Um, it's got me to the point where I've been considering going back to Swift, something I said I would never do. Um, but at least when I was there, I was consistently getting 2,500 miles a week, which, with my current experience level and the pay rate, would be double what I'm making here. You know. Anyway, I don't know what happened. The camera said it was full. It's not. I got the new iPhone 17 Pro Max or whatever. Anyhow, like I was saying, and I'm having to push and I'm having to prod and I'm having to do everything I can just to get 2,000 miles a week here. And I'm not even meeting that goal some weeks. And it's frustrating. I joined this company back in February, and my year to date earnings as of this week is less than $33,000. And that's gross. That's not even net. Last year, I was working for MC Carriers out of Las Vegas, and my gross taxable income for the year was $93,000. So that's more than half of my revenue being cut. And what kills me is this company pulls the whole we love our drivers. We're all about taking care of our drivers and doing the right thing and everything else. And they give you this whole song and dance, but they're terrible. I mean, I've been driving for going on 11 years now, and this company is one of the worst ones I've ever driven for. I was planning on trying to stick with them for at least a year and then looking at going elsewhere, but I don't know if I can make it that long. You go online, you look up videos about Heartland Express, and everybody sings their songs and praises, and honestly, it's BS. It's all BS. And they have a policy with the company that you're not supposed to post YouTube videos or whatever about it, and I know why now. It's because they don't want the negative publicity. If you're looking at going to any trucking company, I would look here as a last resort. I don't understand how anybody can continue to drive for this company. They make dumb decisions. They are the epitome of stepping over a dollar to pick up a penny. Um, they're cheap. They don't take care of their drivers. They don't pay for parking. They plan you horribly. Um, I met one driver who they switched trucks on him, and he had been driving an international. They put him into a Freightliner, and somehow he locked himself out of the truck when he was at a shipper. And the company made him pay to have a tow truck come out and open his door. And he was a company driver. And he'd been driving for the company for 11 years, had never had any issues. This was the first time he'd ever had anything like that happen. And he had to pay $300 out of his own pocket to have a lock guy come out and open the lock to his truck. I mean, what is up with that? I mean, it makes no sense, you know. He ended up quitting because, he wasn't making any money, you know. And I guess up until a couple of years ago, Heartland was a decent company. But from what I understand, the original founder retired and his kids took over, and they've been slowly driving it into the ground ever since. Um, and, since I've been here, we've lost multiple accounts just because they're not planning things efficiently. We're on the verge of losing the Walmart account, which is one of their biggest accounts. Um, and it's just it's not good. And if that happens, it's only going to get worse. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But I'm about done here. You know, I can't afford to go 2 weeks without a paycheck just because of the way the finances have been. Which is what's going to happen if I switch companies. It's usually what happens. But at this point, I don't know if I can afford to stay here. I'm miserable. My health is suffering. Their insurance really sucks. Um, with my last company, with my medical insurance, I was getting the Ozempic stuff for my diabetes, and my out-of-pocket cost was like $30 for a 3-month supply. With the health insurance of this company, which is United Healthcare, my out-of-pocket cost for a 1-month supply is almost $200. And with what they're paying me, I can't afford that, and because of that, my health is suffering. So I don't think I can afford to stay at this company. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But this is where it's at right now, and we'll see what happens. Um, but that's my review of Heartland. Stay away, stay far away, and that includes Heartland, that includes Smith, that includes CFI, and Lewis. They're all Heartland now, and every single one of them is terrible. And I would not recommend ever joining them. So that's where I'm at. We'll see where I go. I've been eyeballing Creek Carrier as a possible place, but I've heard some things about them too. Um, who knows? Maybe I will go back to Swift. I don't know. But at this point, my options are limited where I live, and but I can't keep doing what I'm doing. Anyhow, till next time, rubber side down, shiny side up, all that stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and drive safe.